Astro or Next.js? Man, that question is everywhere, right? It pops up in developer forums, it sparks these huge debates on social media. If you're sitting there trying to figure out which one to bet on for your next project, you're in exactly the right place. We're gonna break it all down.
You've probably seen the arguments online, all the benchmarks, the strong opinions. It's super easy to get lost in all that noise and just feel overwhelmed. But don't worry, by the end of this, you'll have a really clear mental model for deciding which of these tools is the right one for your specific job. Sound familiar? I think this quote probably hits home for a lot of us. That feeling of framework paralysis is totally real, and that's exactly what we're going to cut through today. All right, so let's get right to the heart of it. To really truly understand the difference between Astro and Next.js, you have to look at their core philosophies. They are built on fundamentally different ideas, and that, right there, is the key to everything.
Think of it this way. Astro's whole philosophy is content first. Its main goal is to send as little JavaScript as possible to the user, ideally 0. This is all about making your site ridiculously fast. Next.js, on the other hand, is designed from the ground up for dynamic, complex applications. It's built on React and gives you this powerful hybrid system for building really interactive stuff. That one difference in philosophy explains almost everything else.
So how in the world does Astro pull off that 0 JavaScript by default magic trick? Well, it uses this super clever concept called islands architecture. Just picture your web page for a second. Imagine it as a huge ocean of plain, static HTML. It's super lightweight and it loads in a flash. And this right here is the perfect way to picture it. The vast majority of your page is that static ocean, but the interactive parts, maybe a search bar, an image carousel, a buy now button, those are the islands. They're isolated and they only load their own little bit of JavaScript when the user actually needs them. The rest of the page just stays as simple, fast HTML. It's an absolute game changer for performance.
Okay, now for the fun part. Let's look at the actual numbers. This is where those differences in architecture become impossible to ignore. It is time for a performance showdown.
Let's start with this number, a whopping 90% reduction. That is a huge drop. But a drop in what, exactly? That is the staggering reduction in JavaScript that a typical Astro site ships compared to a similar site built with Next.js. And this isn't just some marketing fluff. Real-world tests show this again and again. And the reason is pretty simple. Next.js has to ship the React runtime to the browser, even if your page is totally static. And this chart just makes it crystal clear. I mean, look at that difference. For a basic homepage, Astro is sending a tiny 8 kilobytes of JavaScript. Next.js is sending down around 85 kilobytes. That massive gap in what the user has to download first is what directly impacts how fast your page feels, especially if they're on a slower phone connection. So what's the payoff for sending all that less JavaScript? Well, a lot of the time, it gets you this beautiful number, a perfect 100. And that's your lighthouse performance score, which shows the real-world impact. Astro makes hitting a perfect 100 on content-heavy sites, well, it's actually pretty achievable. Now, to be fair, a well-built Next.js site using static site generation can still be really fast, scoring a very respectable 88, but Astro's architecture just gives you a massive head start right out of the gate. But performance isn't just about the end user, right? It's also about us, the developers. And this number is all about our day-to-day experience. So imagine you're working on a big documentation site with 1,000 pages. Astro can build that whole thing in about 18 seconds. Next.js is going to take almost 3 times as long, around 52 seconds. And when you're pushing changes all day long, those seconds and minutes you save, they really add up. Okay, so performance-wise, Astro has a clear edge, especially for static sites. But the raw numbers are only one piece of the puzzle. What about the day-to-day experience of actually writing code? Let's dig into what it's like to build with these two and check out their ecosystems. And this is where you see that philosophical split again. Astro is framework agnostic. It's like, hey, bring whatever you want. You like React, Vue, Svelte? Cool, use them all on the same page if you want. Its syntax feels a lot like plain HTML, and its Content Collections API is amazing for working with Markdown. Next.js, though, is all in on React. That means you have a steeper learning curve with things like their app router, but the trade-off is you get instant, seamless access to the absolutely massive React ecosystem of libraries and tools. So we've looked at performance, we've talked about the developer experience. Now we get to the most important part. How do you choose the right tool for your job? This table pretty much sums it up.
If you're building a blog, a documentation site, a portfolio, a landing page, anything where top-tier performance and SEO are the most important things, Astro is the clear winner. But if you're building a highly interactive app like an e-commerce store or a SaaS dashboard, or if you have content that updates all the time, Next.js, with features like incremental static regeneration, is probably the more powerful and flexible choice.
But hold on, there's a really important catch, and this insight from a Reddit discussion nails it. What happens when your site isn't just big, but massive? We're talking millions of pages. In that case, building every single page ahead of time, that static site generation, just isn't practical. The build times would be insane. This points to a key limitation. For truly enormous, database-driven sites, you'll probably need to switch to Astro's server-side rendering mode, which fetches data for each request as it comes in. It's a necessary workaround for that kind of scale.
So let's make this super practical for you. Here's a little decision tree. First question to ask yourself: how often is your content going to change? Are we talking daily or even hourly? That really points towards Next.js, which is built to handle that. Or is your content pretty stable, only changing every few months? That's a perfect fit for Astro.
Okay, next question. How much interactivity does this thing need? Is it just a few interactive islands on a mostly static page? That is Astro's sweet spot. Or is the entire thing a complex, stateful application where the user is constantly clicking and changing things? Well, that's exactly what the React ecosystem and Next.js was designed for.
And finally, you gotta be practical. What does your team already know and love? If you have a mix of developers who are into Vue, Svelte, and React, Astro's flexibility is a huge advantage. But if your team lives and breathes React, then sticking with the deep integration and vast ecosystem of Next.js just makes a ton of sense.
So you see, at the end of the day, this isn't about which framework is better. That's the wrong way to look at it. It's not Astro or Next.js. The real choice is about looking at your project's goals and picking the framework whose entire philosophy just fits.
And that really boils down to one final big-picture question you should ask yourself. Is the website you're building fundamentally a content archive, where performance and just getting that content delivered fast is the #1 priority? Or is it a living, breathing application that just happens to serve some content? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.